All names, photographs, and persons depicted on Fugitive Watch are presumed to be innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
Wow, all that for this. And this is Mark Hinch. This is Fugitive Watch. We are streaming finally after 5 years. I'm with Scott Castrita, co-creator of Fugitive Watch. Hey, Scott, what's going on?
Hey, Mark. How you doing, man? We're going to have a little bit of a rough start since we're using all new software, new system.
Yeah.
Well, kind of bear with us. We'll get it right.
So let me tell you what's going on right now. That link we've been pushing out for the last 2 days, that's the wrong link because at the last minute, again, this is kind of a test run show here. We ended up canceling that other stream, and now we had to create a new stream. So if you guys figured out, I apologize. Anybody watching that's figured out, let people know in the chat that they want to go to the live stream, not the one that we recorded like 10 minutes ago. Okay. Anyway, Too late. Can't do it. We're good. What are you drinking, Scott?
I'm just drinking some water here, but so are you telling me, because are they just watching the repeat of the same thing that?
Well, they'll figure it out. They got to go to the live button on YouTube and figure it out. But look, this is where we're at these days. All right, let's tell everyone what's going on. My name is Mark Hinch. I met Scott Castrita and Steve Ferdin years ago when they were both at San Jose PD. I'm a retired CHP investigator officer, and I was fascinated by Fugitive Watch there in the 90s and the early 2000s. And I was introduced to Scott, and we became good friends. And I started producing the podcast, around 2009, I think. Took over producing the podcast.
Yeah, I thought you were involved before that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, let's see, you lower my chair a little bit here. Okay. And I think I was doing a show for the Highway Patrol called Wanted for the CHP because I saw you guys. And then I said, well, we just got to work with these guys. These are pretty cool. But let's go over some of the history. Tell us about, this is what we're going to do here, guys. We're going to get the stream going. We're going to promote out some stuff going on in the city of San Jose where all this began back in 1992. Scott is going to tell you all about that. And then, but in the future, every Monday at 7:00, if you're a bounty hunter, a bail bondsman, a police officer that's got a case, a wanted fugitive, get it to us at Fugitive Watch, fugitive.com, and get it. And we can get you on the show. You could talk about it. Then you could take that video and push it out on social media. We know you guys can all push it out on your own social media, but you actually have two veteran fugitive hunters, Scott and Steve Ferdin. And if you are watching, say hi to Steve Ferdin. He's in the chat right now. The Steve Ferdin, he's there in the chat. And I've lost control of the chat because I was following the chat from the other stream, so I can't worry about it right now. But there are a couple moderators down there. Carmen and Steve are there. Say hi to Steve if you're watching, and he can answer your questions for you. But again, if you are some sort of a bounty hunter, bail bondsman, I already talked to Golden State. Those guys, they're going to have some cases for us. Bail law in California is a little weird right now, but all over the rest of the country, I think it's working pretty good. And let's go ahead. Tell us a little about how Fugitive Watch began, and tell us what's going on here.
Well, it's pretty simple. Steve and I, back in 1992, were looking for some bad guys, and we approached some news stations trying to ask for help. Oh my God!
Oh, check out those suspenders, man!
Look
at those.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Narcisco Hernandez. That was our first. That's our white whale right there. One of the only people we never caught. But so anyway, so Steve and I went to some TV stations. We were just looking to air some fugitives.
And the mustaches too, bro. Look at those.
Yeah,
must open your eyes when you shoot, Scott.
Yeah, I know.
This is a good one. You guys caught him down in Mexico.
Yeah.
But go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry.
So anyway, we kept getting pushed off. We just wanted some airtime to catch some fugitives. We just wanted to catch bad guys. And so then we ended up at this place called the Classified Channel. Met this guy. He made us write up a business proposal and all this stuff. And we're like, going, okay. So we went and checked out a book because back then we didn't have Google at the touch of our fingers. So we wrote up a business proposal for a 24-hour crime channel. They laughed us out. Yeah.
Right now, this is the newspaper. I'm just going to stop you there for a second. This is the newspaper you're seeing here. So you guys ended up putting some videos on Comcast cable, right? Or whether the cable company was back then?
Yeah, Comcast. Back then it was Comcast. Yeah. So we went from a 24-hour news channel. The guy gave us 5 minutes. And so we bought 5 minutes of airtime and we aired a bunch of fugitives and we caught all but one. I think we aired 5 fugitives. We caught 4 of them off that first show.
Right.
And which was pretty amazing. We were pretty happy. And then they said, hey, can you guys do that again? We said, sure. So it just grew from there. And then after a couple of years, it went from a 5-minute show, 10-minute, 15 to a half-hour full production.
You could see Steve, and this is you there. You guys are getting into it. You guys are becoming professionals here, but you're still working. Yeah. You're still working at San Jose PD at this time, though, right?
I was still a San Jose police officer then.
Tell us about the newspaper. How was that working?
So the newspaper, we rolled that out probably about 95, 96, and we locally distributed it. It was very, very, very popular. And the only thing that knocked it out of the saddle was the pandemic. The newspaper everybody wanted it. It was great paper. We loved doing it. When the pandemic came, we lost 98% of our revenue because it was all based on advertising sponsors. And we all know what happened there. So the newspaper didn't come back. But Mark, you're the one that created.
So
you're the one. Yeah.
Well, here we are, right? So I joined you guys around 2009. We joined forces, and at the time, I am working as a investigator of the Highway Patrol. So I couldn't tell people I was an active. I know. Look at that amazing hair, right? All of us. I was an active officer, investigator in the Highway Patrol, and I could not tell people that I was hosting a podcast and talking about.
Well, actually, we were doing a TV show, Mark.
What's that?
It wasn't even a podcast. We were doing a TV show in podcast format.
Right, and it was airing on Comcast cable back then, and also we put it to YouTube. And I was going to tell people, if you go to our YouTube here, let me find it. Go to the Fugitive Watch YouTube. You can find all those old stories on the Fugitive Watch YouTube channel, all those old podcasts, at least a lot of them. If you go to the videos, you go back, especially you get around 2015 and back, you'll start seeing a lot of our old shows.
Well, let's not forget too, back, we started the TV show in 92. We started the newspaper somewhere around 95, 96. And then along came the internet. And everybody thought we were crazy because we sat down, we created a website for Fugitive Watch, and they tried to shut us down. They told us we couldn't do it. The Attorney General from Sacramento, they launched an investigation against us and everything. And say, you guys can't do that. You can't put bad guys on the internet. What are you guys doing? I said, well, we're putting it on TV. And in the end, they ended up giving us a plaque. And that's why we own fugitive.com and we own fugitivewatch.com. But yeah, we always say we were at the beginning of the internet.
You were there. Yeah. So you're looking at my website, which I built back then after one of my first task force jobs, Stolen 911. And I was using this, I still do. At one time I had like about 12,000 cases on there of stolen property, everything from guitars, the cars, the iPods back in the day.
Well, that's what you started off with, wasn't it? Stolen iPods.
Yes, it did. It was, yeah. And then I think at one time I had 7,000 iPods listed on the website.
I remember that.
But I still use this website today. If you need a private investigator, and that's what I'm doing now since I retired, you can go to the website, Stolen 911. And we're going to talk about this one case in San Jose today. But I can help you, with any sort of issues, anything theft. You need a private investigator to look at it or get the word out. You want to talk about your case, got some pictures of me there when I was a Highway Patrol officer and investigator, and some of the stuff I've been doing since then. And I appreciate it. We've had a great friendship, you, Steve, and I, and everyone in the Fugitive Watch area, and you guys have been awesome. So I'm kind of doing a little bit much here. I'm kind of doing the videos at the same time. Okay, so yeah, so and then
So
COVID comes along and really kind of
COVID
screws
knocked us
everything
out
up.
of the sandbox, and got busy with life, and so I decided, well, we'll keep the social media stuff going, and we've kept that alive. And then you've been trying to get me to start to do these for a while,
Right.
but I've been so busy, and I just said, okay, let's do it. Let's get it done. I mean, it's all about, we want to get the information out to the public. We think that citizens have a right to know a lot of this stuff. I think that a lot of the mainstream media, they do cover it now. Now with social media, they cover a lot of it, but it doesn't always get the attention
Well,
that.
let's talk about that for a second. So fugitive.com, the main website, this is the latest version of it. I was watching some TV documentary on Netflix about Bigfoot or something like that, and they're talking about some wanted guy. And the
Yeah,
guy on the Netflix, this is a few years ago, he's reading an article about this wanted fugitive, and it's on the Fugitive Watch on this Netflix documentary.
yeah, it
And
was
I
on
remember
TV.
calling you guys. I remember calling you guys, going, "Hey, this documentary used your website," but it's been around
Well, we were
forever.
featured, Mark. Do you remember? We were featured on we were on World News Tonight, every major newspaper. We used to do press releases all the time. I mean, we caught thousands of fugitives. I mean, it worked. That citizens wanted to be involved. They wanted to know.
It's
They wanted to give us the tips. They wanted us to tell us who these bad people
right,
are, which we'll probably go into a little bit later. We talk about that Prop 36 thing. People get fed up with crime after a while,
right,
and
right.
and they want to be involved. And it's nice to see how many people now get, in social media, get involved. I mean, like one of our sayings on our show is, "You can run, but you can't hide." And boy, is that the truth nowadays, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
there are cameras everywhere. There's social media.
And here's the thing, in my business too, Stolen 911, uh, Facebook came around on 2009, I think 2012, things started moving over there. You can, now there's there's pages everywhere for stolen cars and stolen this and fugitives and crime posts and
It's hard
network,
to wade through it all.
yeah, neighborhood watches and stuff like that. And that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. We work with all of them. Our goal is uh, law enforcement, police officers retired. Scott's the San Jose PD. I was the highway patrol, Chippy, as people would say. Our goal in law enforcement and the reason why we got in is to help people fight crime and try to get people's stuff back, things like that. So that's our goal. And if we can do that by partnering with other pages, people's blogs, newspapers, TV stations, whatever, police departments, that doesn't matter. We just want the stuff to get solved. If we can help, reach out to us. We'll help share your story,
Good.
and you can reshare it or reshare yours. Get it to us, and we can help out. And we can have a place here on Mondays at 7:00 where we can discuss all this stuff. And there's
Right.
all sorts of true crime stuff out there, and we're gonna
Well,
do
I'm
that.
hoping, Mark. I'm hoping here we can talk a lot, because the frustration. I know you and we sit there, me and Steve, we talk about this all the time. We watch these videos on TV, and we see these people. We see police officers being Facebook convicted when they shouldn't be, and then of course we've seen it when they oopsed. And like I
Right?
said, there's cameras everywhere now,
Yeah.
and I'm not excusing. I don't excuse bad police behavior by any
Not at
means.
all. Not at all.
And we don't win, and
I
we'll show that. We'll show it. We have no problem with that.
my
But we are a
my
pro
screen just went
police
out.
site. We are a pro police site.
Yes.
You know?
I was going to say, if you are a police officer, when I retired from the CHP in 2019, my last 2 years, I bought a body camera. I got it somewhere. I got several of them now. I still wear them as a PI sometimes. But a body camera is the best tool. And you know what? There's images. I remember fighting with people in Oakland. They're filming me because I arrested the kid or something like that. And I would pull out my
You
cell
don't have
phone.
to wear that
I,
on your bath. You don't have to wear that on your bath towel when you're.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I would cross record people with my iPhone back then because they're recording me, I'm recording them, and I'm trying to explain why I was there. If you're a cop and they're not buying you a body cam yet for your department, spend $200 on Amazon. I'll send you some links. I have like 3 or 4 now. And when I transferred to the Hollister Gilroy CHP in 2017, I left my last auto theft gig. I went down there for my last couple of years. I was the only officer there wearing a body camera. And I bought my own. And the Highway Patrol is testing body cameras. They still are. They have great car video systems that are awesome. Officers can't touch it. They it's all in the cloud. But they're still working on body cameras. But back then, I was the first officer to have one at Hollister Gilroy, and they had to come up with a procedure for me to burn the footage at the end of the shift and upload it. And by the time I retired, a couple years later, I think 15 officers had body cameras that they had all bought, from the one I had recommended, or versions of the one I recommended. And even the DA's office would identify which officers had the body cameras because they knew it was a quick way to make a decision whether they're going to file a case or not. I mean, and you tell you what, Scott, I never went to court on anything when it was on body camera. Never.
Well, I'll tell you what, when they first came out, and the body cameras were first out there, and they were just testing them, I was skeptical. I thought, oh, you know what, this, I was pretty skeptical. But once I started seeing, you know what, it's just so much easier to do your job because, matter of fact, the bad guys who all wanted the body cameras started not wanting the body cameras.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't.
And if you're someone's being pulled over by a cop, look, I get it. Hey, you can record police officers. You can bring your camera out, let the officer know you're recording or not, whatever. I mean, the people do those First Amendment audits. My brother's really into those. He watches those on YouTube all the time. And I remember the Gilroy office, they would come in and do the First Amendment audits, and the officers answer their questions.
Mark, somebody said something. I got a message saying that it got cut off. We're still going, right?
As far as I could tell, we can. Hey, Carmen, are we still rolling? This might have been the other one. Anyway, hey, let's keep going here because I'm recording, so don't worry about it. Even if we're off.
All right.
So, yeah, we're gonna ignore that stuff from now on because people start messing with us.
I don't know because I put it out because I think I put the wrong link out to a bunch of people. So
that's right. So if they are, I apologize. We had the original link out and then we canceled that one by accident. So we had to start a new link. I posted it to the page, and I believe I could check. And I'm sorry, guys. I know you're watching the show and we're sitting there trying to fix things. This is our first episode, and we're trying to fix this. No, we're working. It's there. It's there. So I just checked it myself.
Okay.
So we're there. We're working. It's working. Seems to be working. Yeah, I got a thumbs up from our producer, Carmen. She says it's working. So whoever you were on the wrong. Don't point. You know who you are. I'm talking to. Don't point to the camera. It's rude.
I didn't point.
I still love you. No, it's not you. Anyway, it's working. The feed's working. Carmen just checked. Said it's working. So, okay. Anyway, guys, appreciate your patience. We're working out the technical details. Now, one last thing. It's Veterans Day today. Thank you very much. Scott, you did a great post. This is you and your son. I got you here. Got to put you on the. There you go. That is you and Scotty Jr., right?
That is correct.
And tell us a little about this photograph.
I was working patrol sergeant, and I got a call to come into the PD because there was an issue with one of my officers. And so I was calling every one of my officers trying to find out what the heck is going on. What did you do? Why am I getting called? Why am I getting called into the command here? And nobody would answer me. And so I drove in. As soon as I pulled in the parking lot, I ran into my son, and he was at the time deployed in Afghanistan. And he had come home and to surprise me. So he came out and rode with me for a couple hours, and then we came home and surprised the rest of the family. Scotty's
seen a lot. He's been through a lot in Afghanistan and a lot of his friends, and we wish him the best. And we see him all the time, and we love it. I have my own little, like I said, we were at the Veterans Day ceremony this morning. Not a veteran yet, but my son's in the Marines now.
There you go.
Another Sergeant Hinch out there, although he's way better than I ever was. And he's on
he's an animal, that guy.
He's on his second enlistment right now, getting ready to deploy for a third time, and a little badass, and so proud of him. Long family history there in the military on my side. We got my Facebook page. There we go. I'm clicking around here. Okay, all right.
Careful.
I got Carmen's Bravo on here, I think. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. All right. So, but thank you to the veterans out there. And guys, again, thank you for bearing with us. We're powering through all this. All right. Now let's see. We've got a lot going on. We got the history. So we got some stuff going on in San Jose, Scott. We have a scandal.
Yeah.
Now I want to say something real quick. I'm going to remind everyone what Steve Ferdin would always say, and he's probably yelling at me right now in the comments.
Yeah.
Everyone on Fugitive Watch is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. Everything is alleged. We're talking about. If we forget to say that, I apologize. Remind us in the chat. We have the first person we're going to talk about is not even a fugitive, never was, but it is something in our home district here, and we wanted to open this up, our test show here in the home district. And so, Scott, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about what's going on here in San Jose. There's a bunch of stuff happening.
Oh, Omar Torres. Not funny. This guy, apparently city council guy, it started off, I guess he recently went to the police department and said, hey, I'm being extorted by somebody. And the guy lived in Chicago, and he had a screen name John Wick or something like that. And he said he was being extorted for money. The guy was going to show like nudes and all kinds of stuff. Long story short, the police department gets a hold of Chicago. Allegedly, they went out to the guy's house. They grabbed the guy's electronic devices. Voila, they find evidence that actually shows that Omar here was sending all kinds of pictures of himself and what have you.
Again, alleged, right?
As I said, alleged. But he also, they found emails and stuff from him talking about, hey, do you got any homies under 18? And he, of course, his lawyer at the time when this all came out said, oh, it was just all role play, fantasy, none of it was real, et cetera, et cetera. So according to I can't remember what the San Jose Spotlight, I think it was, reported that Omar paid out like about $22,000 to this guy. So then what happened is San Jose came out with a story about it and said that, he's under investigation. Of course, he's emphatically denies that he did any of this bad stuff. And then within a day, another victim came forward, a victim known to him. And apparently he had molested this victim allegedly for a very long time when he was like age 4. Three was like 13. That's what's been reported. I won't tell you all the stuff that they say he.
And so we talked about this earlier.
Right.
When something like that happens, that investigation has already been, they started it. They actually filed something on it. The second investigation, the first one's still open. So as the first one got publicity, people started coming forward, or someone's come forward and said, well, this happened. Yeah. This one person came forward and said, this happened back so many years ago. And normally, as a police officer, that's normally how it works. If you put information out there about a subject doing something, then there may be similar cases that might come forward by putting the story out there, right? Or at least
almost every time.
Yeah, right. So when you find someone doing insurance fraud or stealing a car or doing drugs or something like this, it's a good chance it's not the first time, unless you're one of my family members who got caught on his first time of growing weed. But still love you, man. So I just.
Anyway, let me throw what they did was the investigators, it's my understanding, this is what I read, is they duped, which is common. They did they called into the victim called Omar Torres, and Omar apologized, said he was sorry for it, basically admitted it. So they got him recorded. I'm assuming that that's the evidence they have on him, because they didn't waste much time. They arrested him pretty quick. Matter of fact, I think he's coming up for sentencing like November 14th, which I'm sure people are going to show up to that.
Right.
And now this is a council guy that's around kids all the time. He works with kids. He's at schools. He's at all these events that are with kids. And so, this is a pretty it's pretty serious. I mean, it's definitely serious.
Yeah. Again, if you're joining us, I'm sorry about the link issue. We have we put out the wrong link, or we had the original link going, and then we ended up stopping it by accident. We had I'm learning how to use this, and we had to start a whole new link. And I was scrambling there just a few minutes before we went live to get it.
How
done.
do they find it?
Well, they're going to have to navigate. We're all going to learn about YouTube, and you're going to have to navigate YouTube, and you're going to go to the live tab, and whatever you see the live red button on there is the one that you're going to click on. So
Yeah.
I'm
All
sure
right.
the resourceful ones out there figured it out. I appreciate it. And if not, you can watch this. You're watching this later. So
Okay.
there was some other stuff going on where a call. I'm sorry.
So
Was there a
let me-
tip earlier on this situation?
Yeah. So apparently the guy, the tipster from Chicago here, I'm assuming it's the same guy, left a message for the vice mayor of San Jose on their Facebook page. Now, apparently, she allegedly gave a phone number for the guy to call, and that was it. Nothing. And this was like in April of last year. So this was last April. This was a while ago. So who knows how many other victims there are since then. But and it's also alleged that he got a hold of another city council guy and told him. So it almost sounds like well, it fell on deaf ears and nothing was being done about it until finally this one victim recently who came forward. So now, of course, there's going to be a whole lot of investigation and a whole lot of people going to be answering. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. Mark, you know what we all know what a mandatory reporter is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody tells you that
hold on one second. Hold on. I need to know the question though. So he's going to have to get it to me. We have a question coming in on chat. So
okay.
Yeah. I can't read it though. So I don't know what it is. Someone's got to show me the question. I guess there's a question on the chat, which I can't read. So, because we lost the feed on it. Anyway, mandatory reporter. Sorry, go ahead.
You have your mandatory reporters, which are people that you don't have a choice. You're a police officer, firefighter, nurse, therapist, etc. There's a whole list. And I mean, it talks about if you're, even if you're in charge of administering certain programs and stuff, I have to assume that a mayor and a vice mayor would be a mandatory report, but I could be wrong. But I don't know how that would have slipped through the cracks. And if it did, that needs to be changed because nothing was done about it. It was kind of, I don't know, sounds like it was just swept under the rug at the time.
Right.
And, it wasn't until this last victim came forward and with these very serious accusations, And,
so Steve may be texting you to give you the question, Scott. This is how this is going. Oh, here we go. Yeah, still alive. You guys continue. Yeah, he was an Eagle Scout. Who was an Eagle Scout? Oh, he pled guilty already? No, that's a question mark. Cool. Yes, continue. Don't know. Still alive, as far as I can tell. I don't know what that means. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, my phone.
Yeah. Anyway, so hey guys, we're learning. We're doing this. We lost the feed here, but the chat feed.
But the other thing I want to bring up, what really gets me is I was first alerted about this Omar Torres guy and another city council guy, which I won't say the guy's name at this point, but
he did not plead guilty already. No one said that. I don't think.
No, he hasn't.
No, he did not plead guilty. Maybe that was the question that was on there.
He hasn't pled guilty. No, he in the investigation. Apparently, in the phone call, that's part of what they're. We're guessing.
They're alleging that he admitted to it in the phone call. Is that what the affidavit says?
Apologizing for
apologizing. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
So of course that still has to be put up in front of a jury, and they have to hear it and know that it was ascertained correctly and by law, and then whether that or not they can use it.
Right. So the other thing is that I already spoke to a couple of people that live in his district, which is downtown, one of the downtown neighborhoods around 24th, I believe. And they're pissed because they're unrepresented right now because he resigned a few days ago.
Right.
And now, this is a nightmare for the mayor and the city council, and they got to get this figured out. And it's an interesting time.
So see, this is what I wanted to tell you though about this. So I follow this page. This guy, he's a celebrity turned he's a reporter. He's a social media reporter, and he runs this site that I follow, and it's the ESSJ Times, and he's on Instagram. He's Facebook. You can find him. He's easy to find. Robert Signs, I believe, is his name, and he really cares about the community. He does a lot of work. He's always out there. I mean, this guy, I don't know when he sleeps. I see his posts 24/7. His posts are out there.
He's got all the taco spots on there. I did all the food posts.
Yeah, well, that's those. Yeah, well, he'll tell you all the good places to eat too, and right. You'll get hungry watching his posts.
Right.
So anyway, Robert here, and he must have known something. I haven't talked to him personally. I mean, we've texted back and forth over the years, but we haven't really had anything formal. But obviously he I guess was accused. He was allegedly accused because he called the guy. He was saying that he was a groomer, and which sounds like, you know.
I mean, again, you got he said, and you got lawsuits going on, and we're not really involved in any of that stuff, other than there was something going on. And I got to tell you, I don't follow San Jose politics too much on that level, but I only knew the name because of that other lawsuit going on, and then to hear about
that's how I knew
the investigation.
Because the ESSJ Times was following this thing closely, posting everything. So I was like, okay, this is a good source of information here on this guy.
Right.
And apparently what happened was the city council, these guys went and got a restraining order on him. And I believe, I don't know, I haven't heard it from him, but I think he lost an Instagram page also that had like 66,000 people following him. And he's got other ones too, so you can still follow him. He's got out
now
there.
His page came up. You mentioned another story that you have on Fugitive Watch about a bunch of young men that were arrested. A couple of them were juveniles, and you know, I know this is a sore subject for us, and you know, you've been on this for a long time. I'm trying to find the story, but it was.
That's
there was a group of individuals were arrested, and two of them were juveniles, and pretty violent stuff. And the PD wouldn't release the photos, which is the law. You can't if someone's under 18. But this particular Instagram account went out there and identified them and put it out in the neighborhood. You know,
they may have. I don't know, but I know that, like I said, when it comes to the city of San Jose, this guy he's really into the community. He's really into protecting children. He's really into notifying people what the heck is going on. And he covered some of the local other cities too that surround San Jose. So he's not just in that area, but you know, obviously his passion is San Jose. That's where his roots are from.
So we don't know if he actually went and posted photos of the kids.
No, I know.
They were. Okay.
Yeah. I know that
okay, good.
Him and I were talking back and forth about it because I was telling him we were messaging back and forth, and I was just saying it flips me out that here we'll show the pictures and we'll tell you the names of all the adults, but you got a 16 or a 17-year-old kid that still pulled a gun and did a robbery. I mean, those I don't care. They need to be put on blast. The community should have a right to know who these people are when they're out there committing crimes like that.
So we're not talking stealing candy bars. We're talking about people that pulled guns.
I'm not talking about the kid goes and shoplifts a Snickers bar and you put them on blast. No, we're not talking about that.
Right.
I'm talking about, you know, robberies and attempted homicides, etc. You know, but that's, you know, that's the law.
It's a little weird down here in Morgan Hill. I remember when my kids were in high school, there was a post on one of the community things. I remember where someone right away put, there's someone looking in my window. It was kind of this long-haired guy with glasses, and it turned out it was a high school kid that was just at the wrong house. And but this person had blasted it out, and all the high schoolers were like, "Hey, that's so and so, man. He's cool. He's probably at the wrong house, like that." And it's all it turned out to be. You got to be careful. You got to, before we start putting a lot of stuff out there on images and stuff like that, kind of do a research. But again, we got some arrests with violence. We got video of it. And they won't. I
want to clarify something on Robert here and his page. Though they got a restraining order on him, he took them to court because that was a total violation of his First Amendment rights, and he kicked their butt in court. And the thing is that the local media had no problem putting out when he got a restraining order on him, but it was nothing. They didn't say, it was, in his words, crickets. They didn't come out and say that he beat them in court and the restraining order had been lifted. So I don't know. I felt bad. It's like, it's not right. We know it's not right. It's not fair, but is I guess what it is. And I just wanted to get that out there that in the end, ESSJ Times was right. I mean, at least with this guy. So,
well, as far as the alleged the allegations now, they've got a filing. Yeah. He's in jail, and there's booking photos out there. There's news stations out there have covered it. Again, thanks for watching. We were just discussing getting our first show off the ground here with all technical difficulties and figuring out how the chat works and stuff. And we appreciate it. I'm Mark Hinch, Scott Castrita. Scott's co-founder of Fugitive Watch. If you finally found our feed, thank you very much. We'll cut some of these down and put them on the different websites. We've got, so again, if you, in the future, we'll be doing fugitive cases and crime cases all over the Bay Area, the country and stuff like that, discussing stuff as they come up. We're generally going to do Mondays at 7. I think one of the things, we'll talk about a theft case here going on in San Jose. But, the laws has changed too. Things are going to get tougher, Scott. Tell us about what's going on. Just happened in the election. I read today 10 states out of the 10 more states have voted red this time around. I think people are fed up. We changed the laws in 2014, made felonies $1,000, no mandatory jail time for drug convictions and certain theft and stuff like that. And I think even my very progressive friends in San Francisco and those areas who may have voted for that stuff, and I was up in the doing auto theft up in that area at that time, I think they're fed up. And they want some control back. Not that the Democrats are still in control, but there's some there, like you got DA Brooke Jenkins and stuff like that the people like, and they're starting to take control of the city again. And we're hoping Oakland, which I've spent a lot of time, my career in Oakland, I still go to Oakland all the time for car stuff. Hoping the same thing is going to help turn around up there.
Well, I think what it is, Mark, is people are fed up. I don't care what your political association is, and I really don't. When you see all these videos like we see of these retail thefts where they're going in and stealing everything off the shelves, and they're going into Quickie Marts and 7-Elevens and taking over, and they're sometimes beating up the clerk, and it's complete lawlessness. And I think the communities are they're just fed up. That's one of the major, there's other, breaking into cars like San Francisco. How many cars get broken into?
Yeah. I should have opened up a thing to repair car windows years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's
catalytic converters replacement.
So I think this is I look at it as kind of a course correction where they went, oh, wow, we thought we could go really cool with these people and just tell them, don't do that again. And they were going to go along with the program. And now they're realizing that didn't work.
Now,
it's not that we want to fill up our jails again.
I think we should. I like nice jails. I remember San Francisco kind of voted down a new jail years ago, and I really thought they should have built a new one. And if I don't know about the drug stuff, but if you're, obviously fentanyl wasn't around 10 years ago, and obviously that needs to be handled, and maybe incarceration is the way to put a stop on that for a while, and maybe some treatment there. But theft, they would say, oh, a drug user, this is my personal opinion, a drug user, it's a disease. Okay, fine, we can treat the disease, but if you steal something because of the disease, doesn't mean you should be out on the street because you're just going to keep stealing. So I always like the fact that if you had a second offense in some sort of theft crime, maybe you do some good jail time, 2 or 3 months, 6 months, and then obviously multiple times, a year, prison, whatever. And we need to get back to that. I'm sorry, a lot of people don't want to hear that. And I'm a pretty middle of the road guy. I would say stay in jail, try to get the treatment, because I think if we're going to have to spend some money as taxpayers to keep our good corrections officers in there doing their job, and keeping those jails and getting the treatment for these people.
You got to spend money to make money.
You do.
People lose sight of the fact that some of these programs and so many things that we can do, to turn these people around to have less victims out there
Right.
is definitely it works. Some people are
Well,
just obviously some people are just broken.
I think it works in the sense where the rest of us can. You got to be compassionate. I get that, and you show empathy. But again, it's getting a little crazy. And now, look, I wanted to say a thing too. I just spent a great time in Texas. I was in Lubbock, Texas, for an auto theft convention. All the auto theft guys, auto theft detectives in Texas were there at their convention. And I went down there to help my buddy Mick O'Neill teach a class in there on classic car theft, and met a lot of cool guys that worked some cases. Stolen 911. I'll talk about those later. Down there. Texas is a different state than California, but they had the same issues. If I got involved in the case, and it wasn't the car theft that got this guy, it was the domestic stuff he had. That's what he went to jail for. And I had other detectives all around Texas tell me the same thing. So it's not just California. You know, it's going on in Florida. It's going on in Texas. Obviously, it's going on in southern states
we hear
too.
that all the time.
I know, and it's not it. They like to pick on California. You know, again, we're the fourth largest economy in the world, this state. Right. So we'll figure it out, and things are shifting, and I think things are shifting better. Also, Gascon lost down in LA, and I think he's the one that started it all back years ago in San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, so, you know what's hard too is that, I mean, think about it. You have these local communities, and suddenly they're Walgreens, they're CVS's, they're stores that they go to that they count on, and these stores are going, you know what? It's not even worth staying open here anymore, and we're going to close up, leave shop, and go. Right. And a lot of people, what you hear is like, you know, what's the big deal? It's just a property crime, and the company's got insurance. Well, that may be so, but you know, try making 3 or 4 insurance claims,
right,
for the same thing, and see what happens. And see what happens to your insurance. Or better yet, some of these mom and pop places that, especially like in Oakland, it happens quite a bit. And I've seen it, I've seen it everywhere.
The Hagenberger corridor by the airport. I mean, it's just
they go in there and they do thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in damage. Yeah. And these people, they don't have insurance for that, and they end up getting they end up having to close their businesses.
Sure. So I love Oakland. It's a very sunny city. I used to live there, work there, lived in Alameda too. I love that area, and I believe in it. And I think I have fun when I go there. But you gotta kind of keep your head on a swivel. Certain parts of it. Okay, we're gonna come back in about 30 seconds. I'm gonna show you a quick little video about stolen 911. I'm gonna talk about a case, Scott, and it's gonna. Don't point. Don't point.
Who, me?
No, me. I don't want to point. The pointing is rude. But Scott, this next case is going to scare you particularly. Okay. Hey, we'll be right back. Check out my website. I'm going to show it to you right now. Here it is.
Stolen 911 is fighting back against thieves. Was your classic car stolen? Maybe a thief took that one-of-a-kind work of art. No matter what was stolen, post your story to Stolen 911 to generate leads and get it back.
All right, we're back, and now we're in Stolen 911 mode. Okay, listen. I'm a private investigator. I specialize in theft, and I also do a lot of domestic stuff too, but theft is my specialty. And over the years, my website and me, an investigator as a cop and now as a PI, we recovered stuff all the time. Motorcycles, cars, guitars, dogs, campers, piece of art. You know, I'm doing cars all the time and stuff. If you have something you want us to look at, go to the website. It only has a few things on here, but we can do anything. And so just reach out to me at Stolen 911 and Hinch Investigations. We're based out of the South Bay, but we work up and down California. We just opened an office in Calabasas, and I work on cases all over the country and fly out to wherever we need to go, work with other investigators, and got a great team. So if you had something stolen, and also on the domestic issues now, PI work, we do a lot of child custody work. There's infidelity cases, there's, background checks, things like that, real estate stuff, give us a call, Hinch Investigations or Stolen 911. You'll find it, just Google it. And, but on the website down here in San Jose, this says, right there off of 24th there in the former councilman's district, is this Dodge Charger Hellcat SRT stolen in San Jose on October 3rd. Now I'm going to tell you guys, I'm sorry, I didn't have the website on there the whole time, didn't I? Anyway, there's the website right there. Okay, so the whole time I was showing all that stuff, it didn't come across. But here's this case in San Jose, and it's a Dodge Charger Hellcat, and it was stolen October 3rd. Now, what's going on here with this case is troubling, and I want to show you the first video, which is this one here. This is the car being stolen, and this is a great footage of one of the people down there on this area of downtown.
I love the fact that people have video cameras.
Oh man, these are great. All right, so what you're seeing here is this white car pull up in the morning. It's morning of October 3rd, and you're going to see these kids get out of the car here. They're parking. One car, actually, there's going to be, there's actually two cars, because over here, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't have my cursor on, but there's another group of a couple guys here. So there's another car that's parked around the corner, and this is the second car. So we got 4 individuals all together, and they're walking with purpose.
So how many are there, Mark?
There's 4 total.
Wow.
2 different cars. Now I want you to see what's in their hands here. Do you see these lighted devices in their hands? Those aren't cell phones. Those are
like electronic
key maker. Yeah, they can recreate keys. There's a device called the Autel, and this device here, and you can buy these now. And these things, you could program a bunch of cars, build a key out on a car. Look, this guy's changing his shirts, are walking. Again, 4 something in the morning. And, people are going to work. It's early. People are driving by. And they're over here in this corner up here, the driveway here. And there's that dark Hellcat is in that driveway right there. And they spend about 3 minutes. And they use that device, that Autel device, and they can reprogram a key for that car. Now, on a Dodge vehicle, you won't set off the alarm if you just bust the window out, okay? And they're going to use a little punch tool, and they're going to then climb in through the window, and the alarm will not go off unless you open the door. So they're going to climb in through the window. They just bust it out. They're going to plug in their device, the Autel device, and they know how to use it to make themselves a key.
How do you
for that
avoid?
car? Okay, and so then you're going to see here, all of a sudden, it takes about 3 minutes, and they've got 4 of them. There's 2 of them probably doing the break-in, and the other 2 are lookouts. And remember, they have 2 cars ready to go here, right? So,
which are probably also stolen.
Yeah. And now I want to tell you how they found this car. What they're doing these days is that if they see the car at an event, maybe the owner took the car to an event somewhere, maybe took it to the movies, maybe took it to across town or out of the valley or something like that. They're probably putting air tags on the car and tracking a car back, or some sort of tracker, putting the car back to its location so they can come later and steal it. Or someone is paying them. They've paid somebody $100. Hey, every time you see this type of car I'm looking for, I'll pay you $100 if we get it. And you say, oh yeah, it's always parked in the driveway. If you come middle of the night, you could probably do it. And they come down with their crew, and they end up, as you're going to hear here any second.
Wow.
And it's going to replay here again.
Oh, the owner must be in there. He can hear his own car.
Oh yeah, right now he's waking up. Underwear's on, running towards the door, and their car's backing out. Right now, there's some things you can do to slow this process down. I don't think it was done here, and the car is gone. Okay, so remember, that's that device, that Autel device. Dodge cars are very susceptible to this. I've done a dozen of these cases. And there goes our chase vehicle.
Wow.
And it is gone.
So now, Mark, you or do you think it's already been stripped?
So I talked to some buddies of mine at Auto Theft. This car this is on 24th in San Jose. 20 minutes later, it's in Oakland, passing Hagenberger.
Wow.
Okay, so imagine it took 20 minutes to get from San Jose to Oakland at 5 in the morning. How fast you have to be going to make it that far, right? You're 100 miles per hour going northbound, right? No, I was an auto theft guy for a long time, and you know, in the Bay Area, all auto theft leads to Oakland. I'm sorry, I love you, Oakland, but it just most of the auto theft leads to Oakland. So if something's stolen in San Jose, Burlingame, San Francisco, the Bay Area, North Bay, everything leads to Oakland. And there's that area there where they do Oakland Impact, where a lot of this goes down.
Let's say instead of saying everything, let's say a lot.
A lot, yes.
A lot.
People, where are you from? They look out where I'm from. I go, I lived in Oakland. I worked there for years. Great people live in Oakland. Great people live in that East Oakland area. Awesome people. I know a lot of them. A lot of them call me, but I'm just telling you, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Oakland PD is overwhelmed. A lot of, they have a DA right now. She's gone, but there's a lot going on there. It's always been bad. It's just gotten worse. It's as every city's having its problems. Oakland just keeps taking it on. It's starting to get better. The task force is doing everything they can. Now the highway patrol is there through the end of the year now, and when the CHP sends in the governor sends in highway patrol officers to patrol East Oakland, it really does lock things down because Oakland PD is so overwhelmed, and highway patrol officers making good car stops are everything they can. Violations, I hate it when I see communities take away a cop's ability to pull someone over for expired tab or for tinted windows or for no license plates, because that's BS. I'm sorry. I get the people exploiting those are the crooks. They're switching license plates on their car. So any police officer out there, the best thing you can do, and the best ones to know this, is enforce license plate laws, the vehicle code laws. You keep enforcing those. You don't have to write tickets. You do not have to write tickets to everybody. There's no rule that says you have to. You could stop everybody. If they're legit, or issue a verbal warning, nothing wrong with doing that. If your sergeant tells you there is, your sergeant is a fool. I'm telling you right now, he's a fool. Keep stopping cars until you find the ones that don't want to cooperate, or the ones that run, or the ones that you'll obviously find out are up to no good. Because all these crimes in the city, all these smash and grabs, stuff like that, are usually with cars where the license plates have been switched. So that's that. Okay, so that car's off. It's probably in Oakland somewhere. But a couple days earlier, in the same neighborhood, there's this one. And I thought, when I first saw this, I thought they were going after the same car. But Scott, guess what? What you're gonna see here is, you're not gonna be able to see what they take, but it's an Infinity, Scott. And that device I showed you, that Autel device I talked to you about, oh man, Infinities are getting hit hard with these things. Okay. So if you have any Infinity going back the last 10, 15 years, it is vulnerable right now, guys. And you need to keep an eye on this car. Now watch this. I think that's going to be the same car from a few nights later. Okay. Now check out this Saturn Vue. It's a 2008. We were able to get the license plate off this. It's a 2008, and it's not from Oakland though, but this is an ongoing investigation. But again, 4 guys, 2 different cars.
These guys, what are they, like the Gone in 60-second crew? They got a list of cars to go out and steal.
And I apologize, it wasn't showing the screen there. So Scott can see it, but you guys can see it. I do apologize, guys. Okay, so here they are. You got this group here. This is the Saturn, and you can see this dude's just hanging back. He's still asleep, but they're going to show up.
That was a lot of work, though, for all that turning around they did. Why don't they just come in from the other side and pull over?
Oh, I'm sure they went through all the driver's training, Scott. I'm sure they were there with all the driver's training. They went through all the classes that our kids went through.
Look at that parallel park job.
Can you imagine?
Jeez.
Yeah.
No,
so,
I was asking, yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah. And I got to remember to watch this monitor, not that one, because this is the one that the viewers are seeing. So I apologize if I clicked on this.
Yeah,
you haven't missed much yet. They just showed up to this neighborhood.
Yeah, they're really working on that park job, though. It took them a while. So who ends up stealing the car? The guys in the Saturn or the guys in that white car?
Both of them.
Now, which car do they leave behind, or do they take them all?
Oh, they take them all. So they're getting their stuff together. And what there's an Infinity they want that's about a block away.
Yeah, let's move.
Okay, watch this. So they're out of the car now, right? Now see the device, that orange vice in his hand? That's going to be that autel we talked about. Now watch this. Every time a car goes by, they get scared.
You know what? I'm getting a message from Steve saying people are complaining we're not watching our chat, but I thought that Steve was monitoring the chat.
All right, so we'll
Did you
have to
hear
work
me?
on that. Yeah, I heard you, but Carmen will have to work on that. Okay, so watch. See that autel on their device again? Now watch this when they come back again. Every time a car comes by, watch. Watch this maneuver here. Watch this as this car goes by. Check this guy out. Got the autel in his hand. Car comes by, watch.
It's like he's peeing. Hiding behind a tree.
It's hiding behind the tree as the car goes by. So they end up over here at this house. Again, a third car comes by. So it's the same thing over and over again.
Right.
They eventually end up at this house here, and the Infinity thereafter is next to this RV, I think. But what you see happen, I'll fast forward it, all of a sudden they make too much noise. And you can see the kids over here by the RV.
Right.
The lights coming on, see the lights coming on, and you'll see them start booking.
So they didn't get the Infinity?
They did not get the Infinity.
You think this is all the same crew?
Well, that white car looks familiar. So it might have been the same crew, but maybe they saw the Dodge. Again, this is 3 or 4 nights earlier. Same block. So maybe they saw the Dodge and decided to come after it, or something else is going on. But this is happening all over. Infinities, obviously the Dodges, GMs, Corvettes, things like that are being stolen this way with these type of devices. And I'm just seeing a lot of Infinities these days. And now I remember I remember when the Hyundai Kia thing started, you know, I made a video on that, made like go 500,000 views. Caught that time earlier. Now watch, they just got caught here. See
what city did this happen at?
This is in San Jose. This is right downtown in District Omar's district there. So they got caught. Now they're running back. And none of these kids are from San Jose. This car's from the Valley.
Did you run the plate on that one?
Yeah, we already figured that out. Yeah. We got something going on here. Look at this guy. This guy goes too far over here. He misses the getaway. He comes back to it. And they're gone. So.
Oh, he almost lost his door on that tree.
That would have been cool, huh? So. That's where we're at that. There goes that car there. It's gone. Again, I got this case up. It's on my website, and I can help anybody with a car case like this. Just go ahead and you could submit a tip on this case, or you can submit your own case up here at the top of the website. And in this case, you would just go to the car one, fill that out, and we'll get started. It's all free to get going, and at least get it out there on my network, and maybe you'll be on the show if you got a car you want to do.
Fernando.
So,
okay. Do you have any ID?
Let's turn that off. Okay.
Are you visiting someone? Huh?
Since this is happening in San Jose, you say downtown area?
It was a downtown, yeah.
So I mean, these guys they're going to go back. If they don't go back for that car, they're going to go back for another one.
Oh,
But
they do it all. They do it all over the Bay Area. It's not just San Jose. They're wherever. Again, wherever their spotters gave them an infinity to go after, or whatever car they can steal with that Autel device, then they'll use that. But you could buy this thing for $500 on Amazon. You could probably, I think you use it up to 10 times or something like that before you have to register it.
And
So
why do they sell such a device?
to make money, Amazon and whoever allows them to say it, because there are legitimate key guys. What do you call them? Locksmiths that use these things. You know, you can have a business where if you're a locksmith, where you were going to reprogram car keys and stuff for people, and that's what these are. They're key programmers basically. So they're going to have some blank keys, fob keys, right? And then they're going to use this device to plug into it, the OBD reader, and then they can make a new key, and that's going to start the car. Or the device stores the key information and is used that way.
Well, I think these car manufacturers are going to have to come up with a way to beat that.
Yeah. So, again, if I can help you with the case, go ahead and check out Stolen 911, and we'll beat you there. Okay, we'll be right back in 1 second.
All names, photographs, and persons depicted on Fugitive Watch are presumed to be innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
And I want to, appreciate you guys coming out. I know this has been kind of a janky show. We had a lot of technical things going on here. We lost our, the original feed and stuff like that. I hope you guys found us. I don't know what's going on in the chat. It may be a shit show. Oh, can I say that? And we could do it. And I could drink. I'm retired. I could do what I want. I could drink on TV. Poor Steve. He just had a heart attack. Hey, look, man, we're getting this going. It's going to get cleaner. We're going to cut these down into smaller segments, but we're going to, if anything, you can watch Scott and I, and hopefully Steve.
Well,
tell Steve on the chat. Hopefully, Steve, you're just going to come on and watch us ramble every Monday night and complain and try to help people with their cases. I
found it because I pushed out that other link. I don't know.
Well, they hopefully they're smart enough to figure it out. If not, we can explain it to them later. So, come on, be nice. They know we can find anything on YouTube. So we'll figure it out. Right. I did put a post on the Facebook page just before saying, "Oops, I screwed up." So hopefully they saw that. But if not, again, we're learning so much here today. So.
All right.
Well, I'm happy to be back. This is fun. I've been looking forward to it. Monday nights are set. Do the Niners play Monday night anytime this season? Because
I don't know.
It might get you in trouble
Hope not.
Yeah, we might have to have there'll be a big party going on behind Scott if we have one of these shows going on. I don't know the Monday night schedule. So, hey guys, thanks a lot. Again, fugitive.com. Scott, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you guys?
Well, you can get a hold of us at 1-800-9-COT. We also have on our website, go to fugitive.com. We hit the contact button. You can send us anonymous messages. Also, we have a 24-hour tip line that's always on. You can always you can send us tips, and you can find all that information at fugitive.com. And follow us on Instagram, please, at Fugitive Watch. Come follow us.
Yeah.
Now, please.
I pointed. Don't point. I just got a note that we went 67 minutes. Hey, I watch a lot of live streaming. Some of this goes 3 hours. So, and Steve, you're up till like 4 a.m, so it doesn't matter. We can do this all night, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks again. If you got a case you want to submit to us, you don't even have to watch. Just submit this case. We'll talk about it. But Scott, I'll talk to you soon, and we'll be back here next Monday. If something changes, if we have to come on the net for the net, if we have to come on the YouTube for a breaking story or something like that, we'll send out the alerts. Fugitive Watch on Instagram with the right link, Facebook, and obviously the website Stolen 911. You could find me at Stolen 911. Just Google it. And Scott runs the Instagram page. Steve runs the Facebook page. And man, thanks a lot, Scott. I'll see you later.
All right. Good night, Mark.